This podcast was recorded in the autumn of 2025. Welcome to the Wilder Nottinghamshire Podcast. I'm Rob Carlyle. One of the great pleasures of 2025 for me was to go to one of the woods in the north of our county and spend a day with the Nottinghamshire Dormouse group, with Lorna Griffiths and Colin Watkin. We had a really good day. I learned so much about dormice. And I also learned that if you're trying to record a podcast whilst scrambling through bramble, you will possibly lose a microphone, which is exactly what I did. That means then that this podcast is recorded both in the field or in the wood and then back at home. And then I was joined by Lorna and by Michael Walker, both who've led the Dormouse project and are tremendously knowledgeable. So I hope that you really enjoy this. There's a particular treat for you at the end, a sound I've never heard before. Perhaps you haven't either. You'll have to wait till part 2 of this podcast for that. So on arriving at the wood, there were around 30 volunteers, including Lorna Griffiths and Colin Watkin, a long-time supporter of the group. And it was Colin and Lorna who took us around the wood. I began by asking Lorna. When did your interest in dormice begin then, Lorna? How long have you been doing that?
I started out because I went to Chambers Farm Wood in Lincolnshire because I love butterflies. In the spring to see the marsh retillaries on the meadow, and I saw a sign from the Lincolnshire Dormouse group asking for volunteers because they needed help with the woodland management. And because my first degree was in environmental countryside management, and I was a volunteer ranger at Hardwick at that point as well. So I signed up, went to my first box check, which I'll never forget. And our first box, we opened it and it was an eruption. And a dormouse ran up the inside of my trousers. And then the licence holder at that time, a male, had to put his hand down my trousers. So I never forgot that.
And you were hooked after that, weren't you?
I volunteered with Lincolnshire for many years and was the woodland management leader. And then the People's Trust Endangered Species came to me and asked if I would be willing to help with a reintroduction in Nottingham. Of course, I said yes. And that was 2013, and we've never looked back, have we, Colin? Well, Colin probably has, but...
I don't know about that. I've got a life to live. Yeah.
I'd just like to point out that the trousers and the mouse experience isn't a compulsory part of the induction into the Nottinghamshire Dormouse group. But enough of this badinage. Lorna's ready.
This way. So we're on 26 dormice now because we filled 2 sheets. Well, at least 26 because we had that litter of pinkies.
Yes.
So we don't know how many were in that. But yeah, it's been a really excellent year this year.
So we're with Lorna and Colin, and we've taken the nest box off one of the trees, and now we're going to expose what's inside it in a large plastic bag at the moment. Not Lorna. Oh, look at that. Come on. So here we have Emily holding up a bag with a little dormouse in. That is just an amazing thing.
Pop the bag down, Colin, because we're going to need to...
Wow, an absolute eruption there. That's fantastic.
That's some of the oldest bag on.
Yeah.
How many have you got there? 5 or 6?
Off my hand, oh, catch him. Catch him. You got him?
Yeah.
One just ran up on the shoulder, now going up Jill's sleeve, gone underneath her sleeve, gone up.
Yeah.
Wow.
You'll have to maybe pull your sleeves up a bit, Lorna, do you? It's all run up.
How many have you got?
I don't know yet. Let's get the nest back in some shape.
This one definitely needs a photo.
Can somebody hold that bag right? They can't jump, they can't run up that one. I don't think.
Oh yeah. Famous last word.
I'll take a photo, shall we?
Screw them. And get them all in the corner for you, Rob.
Oh, you're a good one, honestly. All those things we've been saying. Hang on, I need to
Last
get
one.
in. I might vid. Okay.
If there are any ecological consultants listening and they're working on a site that has the potential habitats for dormice, then I would ask that they do dormouse surveys, because we don't have any records. We can't say whether there are dormice present or not. The only way of finding that out is by doing those surveys.
And what kind of habitat would you be wanting people to be reporting about?
So woodland, hedgerows, linear woodlands that have got really good connectivity, species-rich, diverse canopies.
A mixed hedgerow, probably, Lorna.
Yeah. If those hedgerows have got a connectivity to woodland, we can't say that dormice aren't using those hedgerows. So yeah, absolutely, there should be surveying for them.
Yeah.
A lot of these sites that were surveyed, one that I found, and I was really surprised to find dormouse in it. It was a really knobbled hedgerow, so livestock had been knobbling it. There was 6 or 7 gaps along the hedgerow. It did connect to a woodland, but it was just a hawthorn hedge. So I didn't think there'd be a dormouse in this, and we had dormouse footprints.
Wow.
So there was a dormouse at some point had passed through this hedgerow. We've got connectivity to woodland. They should be checking.
So that's what you found when you start looking.
With the new local nature recovery strategy that will be published, I think, now in November for Nottinghamshire, dormice are a priority species in there now. And so any site within 2.5 kilometre radius from the dormouse woodlands will require surveys now. Yeah. So we have got a little bit of protection, but that's obviously only for this population in the north. We don't know whether there's dormice in the south or not. So this one was empty last month. So that's good. Hold that for me, Colin. Open that up.
So,
Okay.
so Emily's found a box with it looks as though it's occupied. Yeah.
Well, it's got a lovely nest. Move him into that. So he's been collecting old field maple leaves there and a couple of hazel leaves. Right, if you want to get
There's a lovely combination of golds and greens there, isn't there? Yes. It scores highly aesthetically if you do that.
So we code the nests.
All right.
So various different ones. So we've got brown leaves only. So this isn't brown leaves only. Dormouse nest other, which is a nest that doesn't quite fit the typical dormouse nest. And this could be anything. This could be a grassy nest. We've had one nest that had lots of baler twine in, so there's loads of pinks and greens and stuff.
Really collected.
Got one in the other woodland. So the bungee, they'd collected all the fluffy stuff off the bungee edge, and they'd had like a nice little bungee nest. So that's got a woven core in it. So it's got a woven core and leaves around it. So we call this dormouse leaves and structure.
The worst
So
thing
it's a
you can have
DLS.
is 2 people who are trained dormouse, because they argue for ages whether it's, I don't know, there's a few leaves, red, green leaves, and yeah, but is it white, nicely, well, and they go on for ages. So you just want one person.
Yeah.
Here's my mask.
Donna Lorna's got pictures of them, actually, haven't you, love? She got some pictures in there somewhere where you can look.
A reference guide. We'll just knock on the back door. There we are.
Oh, here we come. Here we come.
Thank you.
You must have woken them up.
I think might be some littlies in there.
Oh, wow.
It's very warm, which is normally an indicator of a litter, but if they are, they're tiny. Let me just have a look at the adult and see if you're lactating, so we don't disturb your litter if there are any in there. Hello. Yeah, so a lactating female there. Very newly lactating, so young litter, I'd say. And the way we know that there's a young litter is because the nests are really, really warm when we put into them.
Okay.
It looks sort of pressure, that one does as well, with all the other leaves.
Right.
So we'll be quick as we can with her, but just let me put her nest back. Yeah, I think there's tiny little pinkies in there.
Wow. So you leave those undisturbed?
Yeah, so we don't get the pinkies out. I mean, we're not going to
back.
learn anything from those. But they'll be about 2-3 grams. So what's the point in taking them out and weighing them?
Yeah. Sometimes you weigh the whole lot.
Oh, right. You weigh the brood, would you?
Yeah. Just divide by whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
It didn't used to be as complicated. There was no chip readers, there were no maths in the good old days.
Yeah.
Are there any features on this female that would tell you externally how old she was? Do they have anything like that?
No, so dormice usually pick up their golden colour after hibernation because they need to molt to get this really lovely colour. So for an adult, we're looking at the typical really lovely golden colour, and then they tend to have much fluffier tails than the youngsters, but not always. I mean, if a youngster was born in the year, they could go through a molt and then gain these features. Sometimes the youngsters, I think, don't quite look right in their bodies, if that makes sense. So you just look at one and you think, yeah, they've not...
The males don't go bald like we do.
Yeah. And they just, I don't know, they just walk really flat-footed sometimes, the youngsters. But yeah, this is a beautiful coloration. She's got a lovely fluffy tail.
You never go grey or anything like that then, Lorna, no, as you get...
No, I've not seen an elderly one yet.
You don't start aging like that, oh dear.
My granddaughter asked me in the week, she's 5, whether I had grey hair when I was a little boy.
Oh yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
And then we'll get her back in. Well done, Mama. Hopefully they put on enough weight.
How many weeks before these will leave the nest if they do get that far?
Stay with Mum 4 to 6 weeks.
Right.
So she just spend a lot of time with them. Wow. But whether she goes into hibernation early, there's still time, as I say, if it remains mild and there's food. So they're like peanuts. Really are tiny, like little peanuts. That's it, that's a good one then. That's a new nest, like that.
It is fascinating, Lorna. It really is absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, really you don't know what goes off here.
Absolutely, yeah. So this one is a chubster, you say?
Yeah, so this is it's a different kind of fat. This has got its hibernation fat is forming now. So they look a bit weird in their bodies because they've just got.
Oh, come on.
Hold that one down. Like that, yep.
Yeah, he's a chubster, is he? By the end of the afternoon, I'd seen more Hazel Dormice than I ever thought I'd see in my life. From tiny ones to chubsters. But the rain was coming down quite steadily. I'd lost one of the microphones. And frankly, I was ready for a cup of tea. So I agreed with Lorna that we would reconvene over lunch at my house. That's in part 2 of this podcast. I'm Rob Carlyle. Technical editor is David Heathcote. If you spot a shifty dormouse at a car boot sale in the north of the county, offering a microphone, please let me know.
Hi, I'm Professor Sarah Goodacre, Vice President of Nottinghamshire Wildlife Trust. If you would like a fact sheet with more information about this podcast and action you can take for nature, please email podcast@notwt.co.uk. We'd also love you to get in touch with feedback, questions and ideas for future topics at the same address. That's podcast@notwt.co.uk.
This has been a sustainable garden production for Nottinghamshire Wildlife Trust. Thanks for listening. Until the next time.